playground replacement program is almost ready for your review to take a look at a full overhaul of the program, but we're also stepping through and walking through the actual replacement. So if we were going to replace 1 or 3 or 5, how do we actually do that with an RFP process and designing, and how do we want to design these playgrounds as we move forward? And it's kind of cool as we're kind of rebuilding that whole program for the city of Middleton, but that when we're looking at playgrounds, which is really unique, is that playgrounds are fun, and each one is very, very unique. Like you never go to, well, you should not go to a play or a park and see the same playground at every park. So we typically don't design them and spec them out and put them in a big bid package. Like a road is this many inches thick of asphalt, and this is the base, and it's all really standardized. With playgrounds, you get a little bit more freedom with that design. So what we're doing, we worked with the city attorney and the city administrator to come up with a plan for playground replacements. That would be an RFB process. We'd send it out to a bunch of vendors to say, hey, we're looking at play at Hawk Ridge Park for 3 to 5 year olds, and this is the square footage, and this is where we want to have or this is the surfacing we want, and we want to have a swing set in, we want to have ADA compliance. We kind of spell out all the things that we want at the playground, and then the 7 vendors that we send it out to, maybe 5 of them get back to us with designs for each of these playgrounds, and then we select a playground and work through Sourcewell, which is excuse me. Which is how we purchase all our vehicles, like police vehicles or our forestry bucket truck or that kind of thing. We go through Sourcewell contract. Struggling to talk this weekend and today. So you know, when you get a tickle and you can't stop. Mm-hmm. So this will be fun. So anyways, we got that process identified, and as we're working on that, we reached out to vendors, and the playground equipment came back a lot higher when we put it into the budget in July, and to now it's a lot higher, and kick myself. I thought I inflated it a lot, and we had some rollover funds to equal $500,000, and you think you can fit 3 playgrounds in there. But we're coming up short as we're looking at the probable cost. And so a recommendation from the consultant and from city staff team is to move forward with Stonefield and Hawk Ridge, and then defer Middleton Hills South to 2027 and do the 2 playgrounds in 2027. And so that's what we're kind of looking for your recommendation tonight. And I can look up or show you the probable cost for Hawk Ridge. And it's just kind of going through, and it looks like a big long spreadsheet, but basically like concrete curbing, pavement, just different items such as picnic tables, earthwork, site work, landscaping. And this is kind of what the bid package that would go out, and the total cost of that with servicing is about $60,000.
Can I ask a question? So so it says total cost, but then it adds servicing.
I know, I don't know why he does that.
So the total is 59.
Yeah. Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Okay.
I don't like it's a little confusing to me. I had to add everything up a couple times to make sure I was looking at this right.
Okay.
But Blake couldn't be here tonight to kind of walk through this from architecture, but we have him hired as
okay, so this is architecture.
Yeah, architecture, and we have them hired there through you guys already approved the agreement to work with them on this.
Kylie, where the thing that's been confusing me is all this concrete pavement. How big an area is that, and what's going to be on it?
Right now, and this is all like conceptual right now, and we don't have the full design for the site work, but we will get like the site work design brought back to you guys in January timeframe. But the concrete pavement, the concrete curving is like the edge around a playground. So the border around the entire playground would be a concrete curb
Okay.
to hold like what chips are the safety surfacing in. And then we also want to make sure there's an ADA, there's a sidewalk that needs to lead
Okay, so it's more of a sidewalk for the concrete.
and a curb around
Okay.
around the
I
entire
was
playground.
concerned it was a big concrete slab and I
No,
was thinking
that's not
that's
enough
a
for-
disaster
Yeah.
with kids falling on it.
No, and what we're
Okay.
trying to do is I'm trying to get standards for all the playgrounds, and the curbing that we're looking at is almost like if your play surface is here and your curbing is my hand. Like I don't know how to do a good representation right now,
That's good.
but it's just would be like flat. So if you mow on the curb, you can just mow around it and you don't have to string trim
Right.
the curb and go around every single play or all playgrounds and string trim them on a weekly basis. You would just literally run the riding mower around
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And so I'm
Okay.
looking at a different curbing. And we have those plastic kind of like links, if you've seen those.
Mhm.
They're not bad, but we have to go in and hammer and readjust them. They're not ADA compliant. So there you have to have a ramp to go in, and there's only one then access point to get into your playground. And so I'm trying to do a new standard curbing that would last 25 years and we shouldn't have to touch it, hopefully.
Nice.
Yeah. Good.
So it is a little bit, some of the stuff I'm doing is a little bit more pricey, and like we haven't done poured in place surfacing, which is basically like tires ground up and kind of glued on to a base, and that creates ADA compliance. And I know we're gonna come back with that ADA transition plan in 2026, and they're gonna talk about all the surfacing for playgrounds. So I'm trying to get some of the playgrounds with that surfacing. So
And that's
Hawkridge,
called playground surfacing.
so that which one are you looking at? Is that one's
This is Hawk Ridge,
Hawkridge? Yep, is the
and that's that tire under site amenities. Yeah.
Yep, playground surfacing and installs, so, yep. That would be, that one's that PIP, so poured in place is what that's referred to. It's poured in place and then ER. Let's go to Stonefield. Stonefield is EWF, engineered wood fiber. And it is much cheaper, but as we noted in like the playground inspections, like you never can stay compliant at those like at the bottom of a swing set or a slide or at some transition points. And we do have to fill playgrounds every we try to fill like a third of our playgrounds every year around. We can't keep up with wood chipping. And I'd rather wood chip trees than playgrounds all the time.
Yeah.
Does the engineered redwood fiber stay put better than the chips?
It's the same thing. It's literally you have to buy engineered wood fiber for its compliancy, and it's like it's not a deal. I tell you.
Okay.
I'm fine if I don't talk.
Sorry, I wish I could.
No,
do more of
it's
this
fine as
overview.
long as you guys are okay. All right, so there's giving a probable cost, and then I think if we look at just that summary, it has both of them. And then our budget is this. This was the total. The 23,000 is like for construction oversight management, some of the admin amount, and then is minus the site work, and then the surfacing that's in there.
Okay.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Hold on.
This is why it's confusing.
Yeah, this is where I got completely mixed up. So the budget is 506,000.
Yep.
But we're spending
All of it.
136
Well, 136 is
on the
just,
two.
I don't know why he did this. It's like not good. I don't like it, cause he took the $60,000. Which is not plus the surfacing, okay? So he just confused us. Cause if you.
So
see,
that's
$60,000. He took the $60,000 and the $52,000 without the surfacing. He should have just included the surfacing in here, so it wasn't so
Mhm.
confusing. Cause it's all the site work, it's what we're bidding out, the amount that we're bidding out. This is also
That
his
doesn't
best.
even add up the way you're. Because the surfacing, on one of them is about 10,000. Surfacing on the other one is about 60,000, so it should be more like. Well,
That's
it
what
is
that's the-
69, you're right,
Yeah,
sorry.
no, it is so confusing, I
so-
don't like these sheets, I couldn't change them, they're from consultant.
So what's this 369?
That's to purchase the equipment.
So all of
Okay.
this doesn't include equipment?
No, because the equipment, you can't, this is what, playgrounds are confusing, cause you can't bid out playgrounds, cause you can't say. It's, like, I would have to then design it and say, I want this specific swing and specific, slide and then I'd have to build the spec, but then only to keep within our bidding laws. If you build a spec that only one vendor could actually put
Yeah.
the bid in.
So what we're
That'd be
looking at,
generalized.
What?
It'd be generalized enough for other vendors to be able to submit.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's
I
what we
see.
worked with the city attorney, and the best way is the RFPs, so we're gonna do them separately, purchase the equipment directly
yeah,
for
that
them
makes
to
sense.
install, and we're purchasing it through Sourcewell, and Sourcewell is like can't explain it really well, but Brad from our public works public works director uses it all the time to like purchase trucks and equipment, and it's verified like city contracting that goes through like the public bid process in a short form. That makes sense.
So basically, Kylie, tonight, all we're really looking at is none of the equipment. We're just looking at the preparation of the land so the equipment can be put in eventually.
Well, it kind of the whole picture I'm trying to explain to you so that you understand or you can help with decisions tonight that we don't have enough money to do 3 playgrounds
Yeah, well,
unless we
that's-
do
yeah,
one
that makes
fiber
sense.
at home then, or I would change and not do the concrete curbing potentially and do like a cheaper like a less expensive model of playground at each site. And I potentially could shove in 3 playgrounds, but I want to really execute really awesome playgrounds at each park if we're replacing them. So my whole point to describe all this is that we're only looking at 2 playgrounds for next year and the swing set I'm gonna stick in because the council really wanted us swing set at Woodside Heights Park, so I wanna also have $10,000 kind of. I'm gonna adjust this number a little bit lower, so that we can get the plate set in there as well.
So I'm so sorry to
No,
be
that's okay.
not understanding this. There's
Thank you.
that one thing that says Delta 369,296. That's equipment and surfacing.
And that is confusing.
And then so we have the surfacing and then we have the equipment that's added. They've just broken it out,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So we have 506,000 minus 369,296. That leaves us with about $67,000 left, is that correct?
So you take this $500,000,
Uh-huh.
you minus this of that.
The 369.
Minus, nope, you minus this 136,000. I feel like I should have done it. So if you take 506, that's our total budget. Minus, this is the site work.
136?
Or, the site work total is the 112.
Okay, wait,
Yep.
112,794. Right?
Yep.
Okay,
And then minus the 23,000. Is that
23,910.
yeah, 910. That was those like administration fees.
Mm-hmm.
And then you would also subtract the surfacing, which is 69. $199. And that leaves you with about $300,000 for equipment.
I see that.
But it's
And
not
that's
like,
not enough for three, it's only enough for two.
And it's
Well-
also not enough for our 369,
well,
296 estimate.
it's not enough for the, like, it might be enough for the play equipment, but not like all the site. equipment.
Yeah,
So we're under by about 67,000.
yeah, Kylie, it makes sense that you're not doing Middleton Hills South, because that's a big area.
That one's the biggest.
Yeah, and I think it's still in fairly good shape.
Yeah, like some of these playgrounds aren't in terrible shape, but if you don't keep up on them, like
Yeah.
then
Yeah,
like then you'll be like 5 years down. And I kind of like doing 2 playgrounds at one time instead of one because like you're already doing it. And then you can get a better bang
Well,
for your
the-
buck potentially.
thing that I think that Middleton Hills South needed the most was painting the structure for the picnic tables, which you
Oh,
did
yeah.
this year,
Yep, we did that.
and you redid the basketball court.
Yep,
So
yep.
the rest of it can, this is my neighborhood. I feel comfortable with you waiting a couple of years.
Yeah, okay. The math is not mathy.
It's not
Can
mathy.
I?
So in the
send you-
end,
but-
it ends up being, we have a negative of 69,199, which happens to be the same amount of money as the surfacing.
Did you take $500,000
Yep,
minus the 112
506,000.
minus 112,794
Okay,
minus a 23910 minus the 69,199. And
Yeah.
then you're left with the 1,000 for the playground.
yeah,
So
but you need 369.
no, that delta don't even worry about. They basically take the 500,000. I know. I had to do the math like 3 times. They take the total budget minus this, and that's the delta. That's what, does that make sense?
Sure, but no, I'm an idiot when it comes to
No,
stuff.
it's like they're taking that
So-
like shouldn't have been there unless they're showing.
So equipment is, what do we don't know what we need for equipment. This is just what we have for equipment.
Well, that's what we're left with equipment, and I think we can be under a little bit on the equipment. So we could go at like 280, because if I can roll over any money, I want to roll it over. So that would be, I want to get the 2 playgrounds done the best of our ability,
Yeah,
but not.
I'm
go
sorry that
overboard.
took me so long.
No, that's okay.
Yeah.
But not go overboard. And then buy that swing set, like out of that play equipment, that $300,000, I'm planning on minus $10,000 for sure.
For the
Minus-
swing, yes.
For the swing, minus $5,000 for permits and like
Gotcha.
extra stuff that they don't.
So we do have to
don't
go 275, 280.
Yeah, like 285 or so for playground equipment.
Okay.
And then you send it out and you say, what can you do for the playgrounds? Like you want play for 5 to 12-year-olds, and you want a slide, and you want we kind of label a few things that we want at these play sites, and then we say you have $285,000. What can you give us?
Sure.
And they mock it up, and then we'll put it on the website, and everybody gets to take like a survey for the community, and then like one winner will come to you guys, and you'll be like, we don't like this one that the community said, we want this one, or we like the one the community said.
Okay.
But-
So now that we know this, do you need a vote on this?
Yes. I'm looking for a recommendation for I'm looking for a recommendation to move forward with Hawk Ridge and Stonefield playground replacements, and moving Middleton Hills South playground replacement to 2027.
I would make that recommendation.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
I think, you got it.
Take your pick.
Who did?
Go ahead.
Okay. Okay.
All right. Any other discussion, questions? All right, hearing none. All in favor of doing the parks for Hawk Ridge and Stonefield in 2026 and deferring the Middleton Hills South to 2027, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Right, motion carries. Very good. On to agenda item number 2, agreement with Coverall for janitorial services at City Park shelters and community pool facility.
All right, so we put out, I think like 7 to 11 cleaning contractors in 2020 for the 2025 year and 2024 for the 2025 year. We went to all these cleaning contract companies to give us prices, tell us if they could do it. And we didn't really have great service with the company before, so that's why we wanted to go out. We did an RFP process and that because basically if you could think of like the pool, bathroom pool, they're not getting mopped for the whole summer. That's how our company did before, and we were like, no,
Can
no,
I
no.
make a note of who
Yeah.
it was?
Oh no. Jana King.
Right.
And it was the contractor that we had for cleaning services, and maybe it just didn't work out very well depending on the buildings. We have very unique like park shelter buildings and a pool,
Mhm.
like outdoor pool, seasonal. It's just it has a lot of complexities to cleaning during specific hours and all these different places. So we selected Coverall for the year this year 2025 and have been very happy with their service and communication and staying in alignment with the contract that we executed. We would like to administratively move to a 3-year term contract because we're trying to just move in a forward direction of not doing so much administrative work, but like executing and cleaning up all of our agreements that we have in place. We've been happy with all the work that they've done. We're now going to be including Parisi Park Shelter once that construction is completed. And we're looking at year-round service for Parisi Park and having that open year-round. We don't, and when I talk about cleaning services, our crews clean Monday through Friday. So they clean all the shelters and do all the maintenance and that for every single shelter in our community. But when they are not working, we don't have overtime or seasonals. So we supplement with a cleaning contract on Friday. So they clean on Friday night into Saturday morning and Saturday night into Sunday morning. So like 2 days, or the pool, it's every day for 3 months. So we set the cleaning contract up for all of these locations. And we're looking at a 3-year from 2026 to 2028. And that they have a 2% increase each year. And what we're looking at is about $45,000 for 2026, $50,000 for 2027, and $51,000 for 2028. The reason why we're jumping from 2026 to 2027 is that Parisi Park Shelter is going to be a year-round bathroom facility that they would clean. And if we ever needed to adjust these based off of our, we might have to go back to the contract and adjust if we don't get the money to support in 2027 and 28 in our operational funds. But we'd hope to plan to have these services available for the community. So that is a background, but you can ask questions if I didn't clarify something.
Does anybody have any comments or questions?
No.
Feel like we trust you, and the fact that you're happy with this company says a lot. We're going to spend that much money. It's too bad that the other company was not
Yeah, we just
doing their job.
Yeah, so it's a big, long document. And basically, we went through it line by line and sent it to the city attorney and made sure the dates and times that, we're cleaning during the specific facility and approve them. And they have to look at every single square footage so we have to give them floor plans for everything, so we did our due diligence. I wish it was just cheaper for contracted services, right? But we have to pay
Sure,
for we can service.
yeah. So I'm looking for a motion to recommend that Personnel and Finance and Council approve the 3-year agreement.
Yeah, I'll move to recommend to the Finance and Personnel Committee and the Common Council to approve the 3-year agreement with coverall for janitorial services at city park shelters and the Bauman Community Pool facility.
Awesome. We have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
All right, thank you. Any other comments, questions? Hearing none, all in favor of recommending this 3-year contract with coverall for the parks and the pool, signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right, motion passes unanimously.
I think something on getting it through finance would be to explain that it's for a short period of time, basically the summer months. And the costs versus the cost of the city hiring staff to do that would be,
Some of them are year round, so Lakeview is year round.
Yeah,
Breezy
but-
is year round.
it would be hiring staff to do this could be a
Yeah.
whole lot more
Lot
money.
worse, yeah.
And, because you would need people also for just supervising the stuff.
Mhm. Yeah,
So
I
this
think it's
seems
worth
like a
it.
very reasonable way to do it.
Yeah, I agree. All right, moving on to the community campus plan update. Do you care if I take this one?
Yeah, I was actually gonna ask you.
Nah, rest your voice. So as you can read that the city's officially begun the first round of community campus project information sessions. Are you all kind of familiar with what this is, like the new municipal buildings? So the first round, we're just giving information. We're not opening it to questions and comments. We are saying, this is what we've been doing. This is why we're doing it. This is what our costs are looking like. We need to decide on things soon so that the costs don't change. And so the next round is going to be starting up in January. And I think eventually these are going to include some question and answer sessions if you have any. But they do want us to go to this QR. There's a survey on our website about comments that you have and like how this is feeling, what's it sounding like. And then Kylie and Kevin are asking us to attend one of these if we can. The first round was not available on Zoom, but I asked Brian if he would please do that. And I think maybe he could record one and we could put it on YouTube so that
That would be.
it's just an easy one to go to whenever you can. You don't have to make the meeting time.
Yeah, well,
They should have
especially,
recorded you. You did such a good job.
Oh, you know that my neighbor couldn't come, and so I just put my computer down and I Zoomed her.
Oh, nice.
But
Yeah, to have.
it was just like focused on the screen. But yeah, I mean, especially in bad weather and all the stuff going on before holidays, etc., it was hard for everybody. But
Katie, you're on that committee.
I am on that committee, and
'Cause
that's
I've
why I
got some
kinda took it.
ideas to tell you.
Oh, perfect. We want those on the comments. We want them officially, if you don't mind.
But can I
Yeah.
tell you tonight too?
Sure, of course. So you can see the website. It's just cityofmiddleton.us/CCC. It's on our notes, but also this is the QR that'll take you right there on our little note cards, our little postcards. And yeah, I'm super happy to answer any questions right now about what's going on. I mean, I
And
kind
I
of,
do want to give a little
Yay.
note too or I do want to add a few things.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Do you want to do that before I let Lily ask a question?
Sure, I'll go, it's real quick. So
Birthday girl is gonna ask
something that like they highlight very much City Hall, so this building, right? And they highlight library, the building next door, and the senior center, and just from the perspective of Parks Rec Forestry, the recreation services. If you guys don't know, we have our HAC, our Hubbard Activity Center, which is like a room about this size. That we host like tons of our recreation community activities out of. And we don't have enough spaces in that, like, in that facility,
That's in the senior
in
center?
the senior center, so we share out of the senior center. Kind of a building off to the side, or not a building, a room off to the side, like an offshoot right at the entrance of the senior center. And like tonight, when we came in, we have dance recital and council chambers. We use all these like mixture of spaces, so something that's important to us as we get to moving down is just having spaces for recreation. And we can't utilize the library per their policy. But we charge a fee for like somebody to take a yoga class.
I didn't know that.
Or if we have any class basically that we do is a charged fee, because that's a model of recreation in the city and how we execute our services. So we can't use any library, so library spaces per their policy, and I don't exactly know, it's just they don't let anybody use their space that is charging a fee. So we wouldn't necessarily get to utilize any library spaces in this. And then if there was a new senior center, my concern is that like we get second, or where our home is. And I know that like it has to be better than what we have right now, but it was a concern from our end, is just where.
That you still didn't get what you were hoping for.
Well, I don't know what it look, I guess I just don't, I
don't think we're at a design
we're not,
phase,
yeah.
which is hard.
not as
Because you're like being told numbers, but we don't have a
Yeah.
design.
Yeah,
It's weird.
Yeah, I think we need to do some.
so
work
just
before the
just a
design.
heads up, I guess, on the rec side,
Yeah,
I really want you guys to be advocates that recreation in the community is necessary,
Sure.
and in our space, when it comes down, if it gets to the design, that we need to be looked at for what we have.
Let me ask you, were you asked what kind of space needs you were looking for initially?
Yeah, it's just hard to fit. It's hard to fit a recreation community center. The senior center doesn't want to share, like, it wasn't like gonna be a senior rec center, right? It's gonna be a library, city hall.
Right,
And,
and so nobody said, well, then we're gonna put the rec center
Well, on hold.
in the city hall?
Well, I think that there's just not, that everybody had, city hall has a lot of space needs.
Mhm.
Senior center has a lot of space needs. The library has a lot of space needs, and within the footprint down here, there's like not enough room for that. With that. So then like, how do you fit recreation in? But I don't want to be lost. Like.
Yeah, I don't
we're
want us
like-
to be lost either.
Yeah, that
Well,
but I
really,
don't.
I'm remembering from the early days of when the committee was meeting, there wasn't ever any discussion of recreation going into it.
That's probably true.
It
Yeah,
was
that's
library,
just-
senior center, and
Because there's
city.
physical buildings, so it's easy to attach to. Like, there's physical buildings and they need them, like the library needs it, the
Yeah.
senior center needs it.
And I know that we're trying to keep it under a certain dollar amounts of square footage costs,
Yeah.
right?
As well.
Did you, Lily?
Oh, I was just wondering, I guess this would be kind of hard to answer considering there's no like design yet. But I was wondering what like maybe the construction process would look like as for like would these buildings be like out of commission like the library?
No, that's a super good question, and we have thought of that. And there are options. What the consultants figured out is like the library and city hall can move in together, and like this only one building will have to be out of commission at a time.
Okay.
So I think that's the way it worked. And then I think that one of the options nobody had to be.
Yeah,
And City Hall can move to some rent space in some other building for city staff and so on.
I don't even
Well,
think they're looking.
I
at
don't
that.
think they even needed to do that. I think they could have
Yeah,
temporarily moved into the library and.
but even if they did
Yeah.
need it, city staff could easily go someplace else.
Mm.
Because that's mainly people working in offices.
Yeah.
So,
That's a
Okay.
great question.
I was
So
just thinking
just-
like, how
just-
can the books be moved? I feel like that must be like a hard
Yeah,
process.
moving the
Lots of trips with the bookmobile,
Not losing anything.
Yeah.
Things harder to find.
right?
moving the library would be hard. Moving
Yeah, I
the senior
imagine moving-
center would be hard.
Yeah.
Katie, what I have done since I'm at the senior center a fair amount is talk quite a bit with Tammy. And when, in terms of this huge cost of all of it, I started asking her about combining, and I hadn't realized that we needed recreation in there too, but I think we could probably work it, is to combine the senior center and City Hall together. Because we've got so much space in City Hall that's not used during the daytime that could easily be used by the senior center, which then closes at 4 o'clock and make it a
So
much better thing.
this is a great observation, and I think we made it. And the senior said, no,
Well, this is
our space and you can't have it.
that's the commit.
And we don't want to have to see kids.
Yeah,
And we don't want to have to
I know.
park away from the building.
Katie, those were the people chosen to represent it, but this is me talking with Tammy now that we've got the price. And I think it needs to get looked at.
that's her
but-
commit, that's the board, and that's who is on this committee.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
so, but I
So
think
that's
it needs to be.
why it wasn't combined
Yeah.
and perhaps in negotiations in the future.
I think this is something that needs to get looked at because when you start looking at cost to taxpayers, it's ridiculous to have empty space in buildings that can't be used during the daytime or empty space in the senior center building that can't be used at nighttime, and then multiple cleaning and
Yeah.
staff to take
Yeah.
care of it. It's
Let me also say,
Cost a
when they
big
were
difference.
talking about combining, who gets to combine with whom? They were saying, that City Hall and Senior Center would be great. But then, then we were reminded about security. And it's easier to have better security with the library and City Hall combined because the library is open later in the evening. And so for like people like us having meetings at night, it's better security for in the
I
library.
think it can be designed, and some of this was me thinking of with only one or two doors going into sort of the senior center part that's used in the daytime. But then city council and committee meetings would meet in there. But they could still get the security for all the senior records and so on.
Yeah.
There's ways of architects designing
Yeah.
that in. I don't think that would be a huge
I
issue.
think it would be an awesome comment to put on the.
Yes, and I will.
Anybody else?
The other thing is the committee aware of how disastrous the senior center building actually is.
Yeah, I mean, that's why we're pushing it so hard. I mean, we've all had tours.
And they
Of the
explain to you
problems.
about,
Each building was toured
yeah,
with a staff person who knows all of the problems.
with the west
Yep,
end of the senior
Yep.
center, the walls butting up against the outside of the building next door to it. The west part of the senior center does not have its own wall.
Yeah.
Exterior
Yeah.
wall.
And I think like the senior or the senior committee is the best to handle, like I think they've been the representatives and
Yeah.
this goes on the senior center board. I forget what they're called. the senior center board, like
Yeah.
the PRFC, where our
Mhm.
concerns lay
Right.
within the recreation. And so I'm coming at it from that angle.
Yeah.
I think, if there's concerns with the senior center, this isn't the exact place for it, but the QR code.
But I think that the
I think
survey
they're good
would be great.
questions.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think
Survey would be great.
a lot of the decisions were made before there was an understanding of the cost, and the cost has come
I
back
don't
per bit.
think all
But
of it-
listen, it's not as bad as you think.
Yeah.
Bill Burns put together an amazing presentation. He broke
Yeah.
it down to how much is it going to cost me, the taxpayer, every year. It's a
Mhm.
20-year
Right.
commitment.
Mhm.
The
That-
most expensive one was all 3 new buildings, brand new.
Yeah,
Is $173 a year.
for each household, so.
The middle one, where we keep the library building, and that's where the senior center goes. It's renovated and it's now the senior center. And then City Hall and library are built together on this footprint right here. The senior center stays and it's either knocked down or it's rented out to somebody. That combo where we renovate one and build new for the other two, is $49 a year. So it's like,
Yeah, it's not, I mean, we've built,
and it doesn't add to our debt service because of
getting rid
10-3.
of all the other buildings we're paying off, like
Yeah,
the police department.
and then the one where we
municipal operations.
only renovate, there were 3 options. The one that the other one is we only renovate all these buildings, which doesn't work because it doesn't give you any more square footage. But that was what
Yeah.
was that, like $10 a year?
Yeah, I think renovating, like if you're gonna, like, if you're looking at like how
Yeah.
long the building lasts.
Yeah.
And like making sure space needs are addressed, I just feel like 100.
So I think I was impressed that it
Yeah.
was broken down like that. I mean,
But
because
that's
if
why-
somebody hears $110 million, they go,
What is that?
God, no, we're not doing that.
Yeah.
No.
But those sessions that's why I think it's important if people wanna learn where we are to date, cause like
Mhm.
has been this long lifespan.
It's been over
project.
6 years.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I think like where we are to date, where we are, where we're.
Yeah, I
planning to go
remember the
with it.
beginning ones.
So I think it's important to just be educated about it and hopefully,
Yeah.
that's why I'm bringing it to your attention because it affects our operations
Yeah.
recreation wise.
Yeah, if you can make it to a session, it's like half an hour.
Yeah.
And it's kind of exciting when you see all the
Katie, are they
Community.
explaining how disastrous the senior center building is?
yes.
I mean, they go through, cause it's 3 buildings.
So they
don't
go through each
focus
one.
on the
Because
senior
that
center.
one structurally is,
They focus,
should not have anybody in it at the moment.
I think this one's even worse.
yeah.
No, this one.
Yes, we have asbestos. We have broken stairways. We have no elevator. This one is actually a sick building.
Well, that one's got mold on all the walls.
Yeah, I trust you. We need them all. Anything else?
No, I just think it's important to bring to your attention.
Okay, awesome. Next item is the 26 PRFC schedule.
This is why I'm struggling at sharing my screen, you guys, and I should have just tried to do this while you guys were talking, but I will send this out to you. I just mostly want to let you know that I put together and you're gonna look at my little tiny screen that you can't see, and I'm just gonna explain it to you and you can pretend you can see. But I put together every single date, meeting date that we have for the entire year. And there are several dates that are canceled due to high holidays this year, which is added new. I will send you guys this schedule because I can't share it on my screen, so I'm gonna email it out to you. But it's there's holidays that are canceling like Labor Day and Martin Luther King Day and then Passover holidays, so there are a few that are canceled. But I'm starting to add agenda items already for the 5th. And this is kind of my like planning planning calendar, but I have put together this entire, oh gosh. List of all of the agenda items, the division priority that eat all of, that I'd like to put on the agendas and get approved. It's quite lengthy. I don't do all of them, but, that I have like a, just ready to go based off of our capital program needs that have been, addressed, such as our, fee policies, some things that we do annually every year, such as member appointments or, water management agreement with Carico. So some of the things that we always do every year. But I'm putting those up on a schedule, so I'm ready for next year. And then just some park tour ideas and getting ready for a park tour. And I have that scheduled out as well, or I like to do it in August typically, for that time. And then I will be putting together just attendance, for every meeting, just, we can, per the ordinance that got changed, there, you can only miss, 7 meetings. If you miss more than one, because that's 1/3. So if you miss more than 7 meetings in a year, then I don't know, the mayor may ask you to leave. I don't know how it works. I can share that with you guys, but I just wanted to let you know that I'm getting everything ready for our full calendar for next year with our, larger projects and when those come forward, and some of the other things like dog park rules and things that have come to our attention that need to be addressed, or people have brought up, like the MBSC agreement or different items like that. So if there's anything that you guys have, that you know what you would like to, add to the schedule or, for agenda items, you can always feel free to share that with Nick Adams, the chair, and CC me on that. But that's kind of where I just give you guys a heads up that I'm working on all the future agenda and scheduling, and I build everything out and try to for the year. So, I don't know if you have questions on that, but I apologize for I'm not good with this technology in this room.
No,
So
you're
I
doing
have to
fine.
log into this computer and then I don't know how to pull, yeah, so.
I think the only time I've seen us in here was like first ever
Oh, yeah.
PRFC meeting.
I
Yeah.
know how to share.
I think
Yes.
that I was sitting here and I think you were sitting there.
I typically, yeah, you can't do 2 sharing modes at the same time when you have the Zoom on, so I get
Mm.
confused a little bit. I have to practice. All right.
All right, should we go on or are you still doing?
Oh. Yeah.
Good. So item number 5 is liaison reports, from Nick and from Erica, who are not here.
But I
Plan
could
commission.
Conservancy.
Okay, so,
Conservancy hasn't met since the last meeting that we were at.
okay,
Did we report on it at the last meeting?
Yep. The
Okay,
report was on
Yeah.
the new management plans and,
so
approvals.
sounds like we're up to date on that. All right, that's it for the agenda. So we stand adjourned. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for coming on a cold
Thank you.
and
Sorry for getting here.
thank you so much for getting here.
Yeah, I'm glad I was able to make it. I was in an organizing meeting. There's a religious group that I've been doing stuff